the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
People of Springfield, please don't eat my cats. Why would you do that? Eat something else.
So there's something about this whole conversation about they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets. The Haitian immigrants are eating people's pets that no one has talked about, that really demonstrates, I would say this is yet another example of Donald Trump's cognitive decline, and also in the lack of critical thinking of the people that he really targets with his rhetoric. So, and it's interesting that I haven't heard anyone have this conversation yet about it. But here's the deal: how exactly does this work? How would this work? Right. This is one thing when you're analyzing something like this, you have to consider the logistics of a thing. So, for example, if these Haitian immigrants are eating pets, just stop for a moment and think. How does it work? They don't just magically, the pets don't just magically appear on the dinner table and, they just start eating them, right? They would first have to find the pets, right? The person's cat or dog. Then they would have to come up with some kind of a strategy on how they're going to acquire the pet, right? Without being caught by the homeowner, by the police, right? So how does that work exactly? So let me get into further detail. So I am a pet owner. I have a cat. It's basically impossible for you to eat my cat. It just wouldn't work because my cat is an indoor cat, right? So if you're able to get my cat to eat my cat, you're also able to get into my fridge where there's probably much more tasty options available to you. So why would you break into my place to try to, because just because you broke into my place doesn't mean you're going to successfully get my cat. I mean, the cat's obviously going to have an issue with you taking her. So, she's going to run and hide and, she will attack you. So the idea of a Haitian immigrant breaking into my place and, first of all, how do they even know I have a cat in the first place to even break in? Like, why are you breaking in to go try and get my cat? So that's a big problem right there. How do you, because again, like I said, the first thing is to find the pets. An overwhelming majority of cat owners have their cats indoors. So these pets are invisible, right? The Haitian immigrants would not have any awareness of where these cats are because these cats are within the homes of these people. How do they know who has cats? You have a block on a street. Everyone has a cat. How do you know that even one of them has a cat? Right? The same thing goes for dogs. Everyone on a block, let me just say hypothetically, everyone on a block has a dog, right? How does the Haitian immigrant know who has a dog, right? Dogs are kept inside, right? They're kept in the home, in people's homes, in their apartments. The only time you'd ever see a dog is when someone's walking the dog. So you're saying people are attacking people while they're walking their dogs? They're like running up to them with knives and saying, "Give me your dog," and the dog is not attacking them somehow. Like, how does it? Like, think about the idea of you running up on somebody walking their dog and trying to take the dog and not get eaten alive by the dog. Like the dog attacking you. Are they just attacking people with poodles? But first of all, that would be one of the bigger stories. I mean, the idea of, because you're talking about assaults. So the immigrants are assaulting people. Like, how would they get the dogs? How would they get the cats? How would they know who has dogs and who has cats? And how can we have a conversation about these people eating pets and no one bring up this most obvious point? Like, I know people are just looking at it, it's so absurd, it's so absurd, it's so absurd, but let's talk about one of the core reasons why it's absurd, because it doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, if you want to paint a picture that these people are so desperate, right, that somehow they've, and the thing is, on one hand, it's like, hey, these immigrants are coming here and getting all these benefits and they're getting thousands of dollars, right? People who are Americans are struggling to survive. right? While these immigrants are coming in and they're getting everything, all this money and benefits and housing and everything, but somehow they have to go steal people's pets and risk being deported, risk being shot, risk being bitten by dogs, risk being scratched by cats. Like, it's like, what? You know what I mean? So it's like, so if somehow they're getting thousands of dollars, but somehow that $1,000 doesn't equate to enough money for them to just go to McDonald's and get a burger, if somehow that's not enough, that they have to be doing something illegal, why wouldn't they, perhaps hang around grocery stores or supermarkets and, you know, while people are, loading up their cars, run up on them and just grab the bags and run or something like that. If you want to get back to the ridiculous, get back to the neighborhood, same thing. You see somebody coming home from the grocery store, you hang out on the block. I mean, I don't know. Maybe somehow you figure out a time where a lot of people go for groceries, because I mean, you got to time it right? And then you're just like sitting on the block waiting, and somehow no one gets suspicious and calls the cops. They call the cops on me. My very safe neighborhood I was living in, very quiet neighborhood. They call the cops on me. I would say perhaps my skin color has something to do with it, even though I'm the last person to call the race card. But I don't know why somebody would call the cops on me, but I get called the cops on. Somehow this Haitian immigrant is able to hang out on a block and, you know, not get the cops calling while they're like casing the block to find out where the pets are. Well, they can do that. They can do the same thing for groceries, right? Wait, and you see someone and they park the car, they open up the back, and they don't. No one stands around and watches their car. You take the bag and you go in and you do multiple trips, right? So they could just run up on you as soon as you go in the house and run up on you, not on you, on your car, and just grab whatever you bought and take it. Like if things are that desperate, and just think about the idea in general. Like we literally have people in this country, millions of people. I don't know how many people. Let me not put numbers on there. We have a lot of people in this country who are homeless, right? Who need food to eat, and somehow they don't have to go eating people's pets, right? They will beg for food. They will eat out of the garbage, right? They might go to a shelter. They figure it out somehow. Most of them, obviously not all of them. So why on earth? What is so special about Haitian immigrants that they would be looking to eat people's pets? Like, what is the motivation? That people want to say it's not about race. Meanwhile, people in the area where this is happening, supposedly, are referring to Haitian immigrants as, what did he say? Sand monkey or something like that. I think the guy said that was interviewed about this. Right? You don't think there's something racial about, like, oh, these degenerate Haitian immigrants, like, of course they'll be eating people's pets. You don't think there's a dehumanizing element to any of this? But again, it doesn't make any sense, right? And people spreading this, they're not talking about how it's done. How do they get the pets? Why are they eating the pets? Is it a ritual? Are they doing it because they're hungry? So when I go and I get a cat to go eat the cat, what am I eating with the cat? Like, where do I get the rest of the meal? Is it some kind of a voodoo thing? Right? And there's tons of stray cats everywhere, but that's not enough. They have to go and break into people's homes and get their pets. Like what? You know what I mean? And this is the thing. Like, when you actually think about what you're saying and you go through the logistics of it, you realize very quickly how ludicrous it is. You realize the state of Donald Trump's brain for him to fall for such nonsense. You think about the lack of critical thinking, right? Because it's not so much the state of their brain, some of them, I'm sure, but the people who are believing this from Trump telling them, I think more likely it's a lack of critical thinking on their behalf, right? Because I don't think people are really influencing Trump like that. I think he legitimately sees this thing and he's like, oh my goodness, they're eating the cats. Well, in theory, you could be just lying, right? But the people who are listening to him, they trust him, and they lack critical thinking, and just like, oh my goodness. And of course, a percentage of them, and just a realistic reality of life, a percentage of them are also like predisposed to believe this stuff. Haitian immigrants are eating pets. Of course they are, right? Have you seen the way those people live in Haiti? It's just insane, man. It's just 2024. It's got to be a simulation. We have a guy running for president, running around talking about people are eating pets, and we have millions of people who are believing it. And then we have a bunch of really disgusting human beings in right-wing media who just have no, no loyalty to country, no concern for their fellow Americans whatsoever. Just I don't know, like a crack whore, that will do anything for the next hit. You have these influencers that will say and promote anything for engagement and clicks and money, like a bunch of drug addicts. Wow. This is the Debate Me channel. Debate me in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well. I would like to further add that as someone who not only has a cat, but I also take care of a feral cat, who I've seen on my, back in the day, saw on my cameras. I got concerned when it got cold, and I just started taking care of it. We have this weird relationship where it doesn't allow me to get too close, but it certainly comes for the food. But I'm also aware of other stray cats or feral cats. I don't take care of them, but because of my camera system, I'm aware of wildlife that's, passing through my property. The skunks, the raccoons, and the cats as well. There was a time where there were about 3 or 4 regulars that would pass through, hunting for food or whatever. That number has dwindled down to an occasional 1 or 2. Very rarely do I see them. There's no longer regular cats coming through here. I say all that to say the idea that even if I wanted to, and think about it, I have the knowledge, I have the inside knowledge, I have the camera data, right, to know what's happening, right? I also have traps, right? I can't come up with a strategy for me to catch a bunch of cats right now. Again, the cat that I do see now hardly shows up, so I wouldn't have many opportunities to. If I put a trap out there, I'm definitely going to get something, but I don't think it's going to be a cat. I guarantee you, if I put a trap out there, guaranteed I'm going to get a skunk. And the next thing, if I don't get a skunk, I'm going to get a raccoon, but I'm definitely getting a skunk. Cats, I don't know. The time when they were regulars walking through, perhaps, but again, even then, the competition, man, those skunks are crazy. Like, the idea of me setting a trap up to catch a cat, I would have to keep getting the skunks out of there. It would just be a legitimate. You see, when you start thinking about these things, right? When you don't think about things and you just operate on emotions, it's kind of like, yeah, they're getting the cat. When you start thinking about it, it just falls apart so quickly, right? I'm the ideal person to catch cats, and I don't know how I would do it. And even if I did, like I said, at most, there were a total of 4 cats. And if I were able to get 100% trap rate, I got 4 cats. So if I eat the 4 cats, then what? I didn't catch any of these cats, well, except for the one that I took care of and released. But the other cats, I didn't catch them. I didn't do anything to them. But they vanished. Either they're dead or I don't know what happened to them. So now there's no cats anymore. What would happen if I had caught them and ate them? Same thing. There'd be no more cats to catch and eat. Right? Like, how does this even work? How does this even work? Ask the people spreading this. They'll have no answers for you. Right? Because the point is not to inform or to have a serious conversation. It's to take advantage of your audience for money.
People of Springfield, please don't eat my dog. Here's a Cadillac.